Welcome back to Porch Sports for the 4th episode. We are glad to be back live, and we ain't gonna waste your time. We're gonna get right back. We're gonna get right into it. So today is quarterback day, talking about the most significant piece of a franchise on the day. So we're gonna start it off with a question.
Okay.
So, Fonz, who is the best quarterback in the league currently?
Is that a trick question?
No. No, it's not.
Oh, man, you would hit me with that one. Currently, I got to say that Brady dude out there in Tampa. He the champ. Hey.
Okay. Tom Brady. Okay. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league. Now, he may not have all the pieces that Tom Brady had and to the Bucks, and he may not have had the system that Tom Brady had with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. But to me, nor did
he have the coaching.
Yeah, the coaching as well. But to me, as far as talent, as far as his, his awareness, his just all around, I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers. Now, my second question is, who is your favorite quarterback of all time?
My favorite quarterback of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny U.
I'm going to say Peyton Manning. I like Peyton Manning. Because I like Peyton
They're
Manning.
Like one and the same, though, if you think about it.
You're right.
Because Johnny U, he kind of like came up with the 2-minute offense. And Peyton kind of like perfected it.
Perfected it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, Peyton is a smart quarterback. Dude is.
That's what I liked about him. His way of dissecting that doggone defense was something to see, He was great. I think he was pretty good against the blitz.
Right.
Couldn't blitz him. It's like he knew everything you was going to throw at him. Mm-hmm. So, one more question, and this is more of a trivia question. But I picked this question just because of the answer of it, and we kind of talked about this situation in a past podcast. So, the trivia question is, who is the player to reach 25,000 yards the fastest? Was it Drew Brees, Tom Brady, or Matthew Stafford?
Oh, Lord.
What quarterback?
I'm going to get a smart answer. I'm going to say Drew Brees. I knew I was wrong. That's what I said.
Matthew Stafford, the quarterback that you said won't all that great.
What that got to do with him going to the Rams? He got 25,000 yards the quickest. Woo!
The reason why I picked it was because of the answer to it. Because
you had to go give me one.
Yeah, when I seen the question, I would have said Drew Brees too. But
right.
When because I took the trivia question myself and I answered Drew Brees and it was like Matthew Stafford. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. But he had Megatron, so
yeah. All right. So rather than that, we're gonna jump right into the real news of the NFL. We got a lot of quarterback news going on. Mm-hmm. The Deshaun Watson is still up in the air.
I got a little story about that though. The Panthers are looking to trade for Deshaun Watson. They just released some cap space over the weekend. Teddy Bridgewater stopped following the Panthers. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, boy.
Okay, Deshaun Watson coming to Charlotte?
But in the corner of your eye, just keep an eye on Miami. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Keep an eye on Miami.
Well, rather than that, it's still up in the air because we really don't know what team. I would actually like to see him go to Carolina. Carolina got some hidden talent over there.
Yeah, they really do.
To be real.
Carolina's our home state. Even though we're fans of teams that's not in this state.
Yeah, we don't rock with,
I don't rock with Carolina like
me
that.
Either.
But I got people in my life that rock with Carolina. If they get Deshaun Watson, they're going to be scary. If they put the right, they already got Robbie Anderson down there. He's pretty decent.
Yep.
If they really set the tone, get back to what made you special, create a balanced offense, I can see them going places.
Okay. So, we got the Deshaun Watson. We got, right now, what we're going to talk about right now is the Big Ben situation in Pittsburgh. Boy. So, the first question is, Should the Steelers move on from Big Ben? And if not, why?
It's kind of hard because it's like, darn it they do, darn it they don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And being a Raven fan, I'm sure I can speak for Cleveland and Cincinnati by saying we don't care. Like, we do not care. Like, oh well. But speak as a football fan, it'll be wise to move from him, being that if he does not take that restructured contract, because he counts as $41 million against the cap. Now, Pittsburgh is already strapped for cap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of rough up there. But if he retires, you still have to pay him $22 million. So it's like a double-edged sword at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, it's overdue for a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're trying to win now, and to be real, even if you're winning now, I still don't see it, because the past has told us since 2014, Ben ain't been really that hot in the playoffs.
No, especially not in December.
Not in December. I mean, December is like the worst month to be a Roethlisberger. I'm just being real.
Yeah. I'm going to say that, well, my position on this is yes, we should move on. Mm-hmm. Even if, we move on from when we had to pay him 22. Okay, you saved 22. And from NFL Mobile, I went up there today and found out that Cameron Hayward restructured his contract.
Yeah, I seen that early before I left work.
To restructure, it saved us about $7 million, which is not really a lot of money compared to 41. But we are trying to restructure a lot of contracts, especially the veteran guys that we know aren't planning on going nowhere. Stephon Tuitt will be another one that we plan on looking forward to restructure to try to, help us in the cap space, because at this point we are trying to do the best. Kevin Colbert, the GM, made it plain as day that, we're not going to force our hand to resign Big Ben. Right now, we want to put ourselves in the best position to compete for a Super Bowl. And in my opinion, I really think Big Ben time in Pittsburgh is done. He really disappointed. He, to be quite frank, what stuck with me with Big Ben is how he played in the last few weeks of football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he didn't have the best offensive line. A lot of interceptions came from pass deflection.
And not to mention that Pittsburgh did lead the league in drops.
That too. But as far as, when you had some plays, receivers were wide open, and either it was overthrown or underthrown. And I just, I just don't think we can win a Super Bowl. Steelers has always been about championship. And you seen what happened when we didn't compete after starting 11-0 this year. We cut 4 coaches, offensive line, offensive coordinator, and, we're doing a lot of restructuring over there. So I'm going to say we need to move on. And, right now what I'm hearing is Sam Darnold from the Jets, which I'm really not too big on, but
I mean, please come to the AFC North. Come on down.
But I really, we do got Dwayne Haskins, but the 1 year contract was just to really give him some rehab, really, because
pretty much is approve it.
Yeah, just to see what he gonna do.
Looking at y'all current situation right now, like y'all got 19 unrestricted free agents.
Yeah, that too. That's another thing,
including one Juju Smith-Schuster,
and Bud Dupree.
Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be tough. That's why, your GM said, I want to say over the weekend, that he's going to remain competitive. It's going to be a competitive football team, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but at the same time, you got to look at the writing on the wall. Pittsburgh has been the same for a while now, and it's really time for that rebuild.
Yeah, it's time.
If you want to contend within the next 5 years, if you want to possibly make it to a Super Bowl within the next 5 years, this is your time now to say, okay, we're going to break this thing down, and start over.
Yeah, need to. And it starts off with Big Ben. I don't want number 7. Your job has been done well. 2-time Super Bowl champ. We thank you. We appreciate you. I'm over Big Ben.
Come on, man.
I'm over it.
You can't do my personal friend Benjamin Todd Roethlisberger Sr. like that.
Listen.
That is my dude. He is my best friend. He is my best friend. You can't talk about him like that.
As a Ravens fan? Nah.
It's like, I don't even like that dude. No. I'd be glad when he goes. I pulled an article from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and it's ironic how this is going on. Troy Polamalu, fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
He could be considered one of the Steelers icons.
Yeah, because he brought me in.
They gave him a raw deal. It was either retire or be released.
As far as what, Troy Polamalu?
Yeah, back in 2014.
Okay, yeah.
It was ugly. It became ugly because it was like, dude, even as a Raven fan, I could not see him playing in another uniform.
Yeah, but I mean, did he really have it in 2015? I mean, 2014 anymore? No.
I mean, to the naked eye, he didn't have it.
No, he didn't.
But he was still kind of sort of a factor. You know, it was speculation that he was going to reunite with Dick LeBeau. Now, I really feel like had he had reunited with Dick LeBeau in Tennessee at the time,
you know, when Dick LeBeau went to Tennessee, their defense turned.
They turned.
I think they was number one defense.
I think they were the number one defense that year. Now, after Dick LeBeau, of course, it was Dean Pease. I've sat with the Dean Pease many times. But he decided to retire in that April 2015. So basically, if the Steelers can do that to Polamalu, they can darn sure do that to Big Ben.
Yep. Now, I would keep the only way, and I kind of got some insight on this from Colin Hurd.
Yeah.
He really opened my eyes to a few things. He was talking about how, he's not a Tom Brady. He's not.
No. He's like the anti-Brady. That's what he called him, the anti-Brady.
Yeah, he's the anti-Brady. Brady gets along with young players. He's transparent. He can.
If you saw their Super Bowl celebration, that alone made me respect Brady a little bit more. Because anytime this dude could take the Super Bowl trophy and toss it across water.
That thing would have dropped in that ocean.
Somebody would have been going down there going to get that.
That would have been another one. That would have been no problem.
No problem at all. And whoever would have went down there and got that thing would have been good. Because I would have sold that on eBay if I'd have found that.
Shoot.
But here's the thing that stuck out to me about this whole Roethlisberger thing, though. Mike Tomlin, the coach, he said it's reasonable to assume there's a chance he'll be back. Certainly. That's what Tomlin said. Art Rooney said he would like to see Roethlisberger back, but quickly added, there's a lot of work to be done to see if that can happen. The GM, Kevin Colbert, chimed in last week. It was like, as we sit here today, Ben is a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Today.
So, in my opinion,
he gone.
And by the way, like I said, this article came from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. In my opinion, he gone.
He gone.
Because they pointed this out in the article. Nobody said we'd love to have Ben back. Of course we want him back. He is our quarterback. He is a winner. We'll make this contract work. We always can make the money work. We plan on him leading us to the Super Bowl next season. Ain't nobody say that. So that tells me the organization is pretty much done.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Ben is like the quintessential diva.
I'm glad.
For the past, 10 years, every time he loses in the playoffs, I don't want to play no more.
And then, he threatened, a few years ago, he was threatening to retire.
Yeah.
He even, when we drafted Mason Rudolph as his replacement, he was like, I'm not going to be a mentor to him. He has had several former Steelers players.
Namely, I can give you names. Ryan Clark said it, and Ike Taylor said it today.
Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell.
If he were to stay, if Roethlisberger were to stay, he could set the franchise back 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 years. And I agree. Because you got a quarterback that's about to be 39 next week. That accounts for $41 million. Now, he made his money. Don't get me wrong. He made well over $100 million.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same token, look at the production, not in the regular season wise. When it come up to the playoffs, he ain't been the best. I mean, he ain't been the world beater. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So we want to, watch this story closely and to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you shouldn't cut him or release him, or at least let him walk off into the sunset. But at the same time, man. At the same time, like,
it's time, man.
Darn if you do.
It's time.
Darn if you don't.
It's time, Pittsburgh.
Time to turn the page on that.
So, all right. So next topic. How do you feel about the Carson Wentz trade to the Colts?
I love it. I'm gonna tell you why I love it. Mm-hmm. He's reunited with Frank Reich.
Okay.
Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator from 2016 2017. Mm-hmm. So I kind of did some stats. He had a combined passing yardage. It was over 7,000 yards in those 2 years. I averaged 2 years as far as quarterback rating. It was 90.6. Mm-hmm. He had a 61.3 completion percentage.
Okay.
And combined 49 to 21 touchdown ratio.
Okay.
That was all right. That's almost half, a little bit over half. I like it because, one, it's a change of scenery. Two, he was ready to come out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
3, Doug Peterson. Why? Doug Peterson, he rolled on his name because of the simple fact of that Super Bowl.
Right.
That one play in the Super Bowl, the Philly special, that was his claim to fame. But since then, he's done nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely, positively nothing to turn that franchise around. So I'm on board with Carson Wentz going to that team in Indianapolis. I will not call that name for my Baltimore family. I will not say that name on this podcast. But anyway, 2017 was a good year for Wentz, though. They made the Super Bowl, obviously, that year, but he was playing on an MVP level before he tore his ACL. So I think it was a good trade.
I like the fact before he was going through his injuries and everything, I like Carson because his way of escape. Yeah. He was real slippery. He was
mobile too, wasn't he?
Huh?
He was kind of mobile too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was mobile, and his accuracy down the field is pretty good. And now he's gone to the Colts, where you have
a quarterback guru.
Yeah, you have a mobile quarterback, but not only that, you have one of the best offensive lines in the league. You know what I'm saying? And I like, I like what the Colts did this past year, even though, they have Phillip Rivers or whatever. But
they were still a playoff team.
They were still a playoff team, and I like the fact that, they established a run game. My boy T.Y. Hilton, man, he finally got some help over there. And, I just like, I like the trade with Carson Wentz being that quarterback.
Right.
He ain't got to worry about getting all banged up like that. He has really a Hall of Fame offensive line, and that means a lot to a quarterback that has been.
That's big. Hall of Fame offensive line. That's big.
Well, not a Hall of Fame. Well, you know what I'm saying? He do got an all-pro guard, though.
They good because, they kept Phillip Rivers upright for the majority of the year.
They have a potential Hall of Fame offensive line.
They got a all-pro offensive line.
However you want to print it.
Hall of Fame. Yeah, dude.
But, you know what I'm saying? I like it, just for his health. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, I actually did like Carson Wentz with Philly. And, they didn't really take good care of him. And then they really did him wrong towards, the last few years he was with him. They gave Nick Foles the credit for going down there and winning the Super Bowl.
Hey, Carson Wentz. My thing is, next man up.
But Carson Wentz got him to the position to compete.
Yeah, he got him there, but physically he could not carry them over the hump.
You're right. But that's
and not to mention their defense was actually pretty good that Super Bowl year. So let's not discredit them.
Yeah.
But Carson Wentz ACL was shot. And not Phillip Rivers. I don't know why I'm thinking about this dude. No pull out Poppy, but this dude Nick Foles got put in the perfect position. He had no choice. First of all, they had the best seed in the NFC. You had no choice.
Yeah,
it's hard to go up the Lincoln Financial Field in the playoffs. Not with them guys out there, that crowd. Y'all think Seattle and Kansas City and Pittsburgh and Baltimore crowd or something? Go to Philly. I dare you.
Yeah.
And for them to pull that off, I mean, it took them a long time to get a Super Bowl championship. And I got to give credit where credit is due. But at the same time, what have you done for me lately? Now, I'm not an Eagle fan. Nope. Will never rep the Eagles. But I have family that like the Eagles. And I'm like, you know, it was a good trade. Y'all got a little bit of capital back for him. Now put the pieces around Jalen Hurts. If you want to get this man a fair shot.
Wrong coach, though. He ain't got a good coach to me.
Well, you know, Peterson got fired, so you know.
Well, yeah, that was a good move because you know I ain't.
Peterson got that. Peterson got the axe, man, and I mean, I got hopes for Jalen Hurts because you know he's a quarterback. He's one of us, and I just want to see him be successful, but give him the fair shake. Yeah,
make sure you build around a young quarterback.
Yeah, and just like with Carson Wentz, you know, they got some free agent issues going on out there. Get this man a fair shake. Y'all see what he can do.
Oh, well, with that addition of Carson Wentz, they might. They a playoff team for sure.
Most definitely.
They definitely return it. I think they might win their division too as well. But I definitely like that.
So wait. Okay. So you're saying the reign of Tennessee is over?
Oh, yeah. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Listen.
Shout out to my cousin Tommy, man. He is a hard Tennessee fan.
Let me go ahead and rock that right on out. Let me go ahead and bash that right on out. Listen, Tennessee Titans, listen. Not even Tennessee Titans. Let's call them the Tennessee Henrys.
Oh, God.
Tennessee Henrys.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
Tennessee Henrys. Listen,
Say it one more time.
The Tennessee Henrys.
Oh, my God. That's what he said. The Tennessee Henrys. Look, hey.
Listen, I respect Derrick Henry as a running back. You know what I'm saying? He's physical. Now, I don't know whether he would be successful back in the early 2000s running as, you know, he's a high knee runner.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have lasted. But anyways, that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? I respect y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a good run game, whatever, you know. Y'all get a lead. Y'all most likely got, you know, the higher chance of winning because y'all run the ball more late. The only thing that is going to eat y'all alive, and you know what I'm saying, this is something that, you know, Pittsburgh kind of exposed, you know, when we played y'all.
We Baltimore just played them in the playoffs now.
With that too. But, you know, y'all start off a little slow.
And y'all don't really give Derrick Henry the ball until like the fourth quarter.
Right. And, you know what I'm saying? And, that, you know, I'm not too big on Tennessee. Now, if they... I don't see it. I'm going to pick the Colts for that division just because, you know what I'm saying, the Tennessee Titans is more like just a regular season football team, really. I mean, they turn up for the regular season for the most part, but when it come down to, you know what I'm saying, you can't win a game. You cannot win a game. If you're behind in a football game, you are not allowed to run the ball like that anymore. You have to be able to have a mixture of pass and run. You know what I'm saying? Running is good because you eat up time of possession. But if you're not scoring on those possessions, you bite yourself, you know.
Right. And then if you get a defensive line that can pretty much bang this dude, like, I've seen it happen.
No, that's no disrespect to my boy AJ Brown.
No, that man a dog, man.
He a dog, and I respect him. But it's just those two pieces are not enough. Now, if they add to what they already got, you know, they might be able to compete for the division. I don't see them competing for a championship quite yet. But, you know what I'm saying? I like, you know, don't get me wrong. I respect y'all. I like y'all coaching. I like y'all run game. It's just, I don't think it's going to be enough to compete for, you know, the ultimate goal of a championship quite yet.
Right.
And, you know, being that
the AFC is kind of stacked right now.
Yeah. Like, And being that the Colts really didn't lose anybody but Phillip Rivers, and they add on Carson Wentz, who was young, you know what I'm saying? he's pretty much healthy because he sat out most of, these last few years. He ain't really been playing like that. Right. So,
it's a lot of time.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't really change much and you just add, a young piece like that, I really think they got a chance. But, Tennessee, y'all compete for second place.
But, it remains to be seen, though, because scheduling came out.
Yeah, scheduling. And, free agency isn't over quite yet.
Drafting came out. So, you got to,
but as I'm looking at
right
it
now, based on last year.
Based on, Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Moving on from that.
Cam Newton?
Yeah, let's talk about Cam Newton. So we going to start it off like this. Is Cam Newton still a relevant quarterback? And if not, what do you think is hindering him from returning back to the 2015 Carolina Panthers Cam Newton, who won MVP?
Simple word, injury.
Okay.
Cam is not relevant no longer. He stopped being important.
Right.
When he did not go for that fumble in the Super Bowl against Denver.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the man.
Mm-hmm.
But as a football player, you're in the biggest game of your life.
Yeah.
It is hard to get there. It's difficult with salary cap and all that other good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For him to not do that, I looked at that game live, and I'm just looking at it like, so he not gonna go get it? Well, he's trying to go get it. Now, granted, it was a business decision because honestly, when it comes down to hitting Cam Newton, a lot of people been getting away with banging this dude. They let the boys hit Cam Newton.
Now, This is a quote from Cam Newton. He said that there isn't 32 quarterbacks better than him.
Now.
I may not be able to name 32 quarterbacks that's better than him, but let's be honest. Normally it's top 5, top 7. After number 10, most quarterbacks really aren't relevant anymore. You don't really talk about who's 15 or 20.
You don't talk about who's number 27.
I can name 10 quarterbacks that's better than Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? He can be relevant, and that's the thing that really makes me mad about Cam Newton. Because when he went to Carolina, I wanted to like his game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He was a 6'6" quarterback.
And that can move.
That can move. That can truck linebackers. You know what I'm saying?
I seen Cam Newton do some amazing things.
I mean, he's talented. He has the talent.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to New England, a team that haven't missed the first time. This is this is 2021 now.
I know you was gonna go there, but granted, I got to give him a little excuse, just a tad bit.
Okay, go ahead, give him a little excuse.
The talent around him was the reason why Tom Brady left, and then they had so many players opt out for COVID.
That too,
and then he had COVID.
That too.
Now you gonna look at his stats. He was 8 for 10.
Something like that.
He passed for 8, but he ran for 12, so he had 20 touchdowns. He counted for 20 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, had he not missed those games, he could have got between 25 and 27 touchdowns. Combined passing and running.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to a team like the New England Patriots. Now, Grant, like I just said, they was depleted. They was pretty much not the Patriots of old, though. These ain't your granddaddy Patriots. You know what I'm saying? I put it like this. It's a reason why it took him to almost last August to get signed.
Mm-hmm. And now he's afraid again.
Yeah, because you remember everybody was on Cam Newton watch every day.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Cam Newton going to sign with? I'm like, dude, like you're coming off a major injury. It's not the same anymore.
It's not.
It's not the same anymore. It's not.
And I kind of blame some of his injuries on the referees because you know what I'm saying. He was taking a lot of hits that was not being called.
He was taking stuff that was unnecessary.
You know what I'm saying. Now, one hit that I did enjoy was
that is tough.
Was when the Steelers.
Oh my God. That is tough.
When the Steelers played the Panthers and we beat them 52-21, I'll never forget. And TJ Watt laid something on him. I mean, he laid something on him. And I was like, good gracious. But, rather than that, I kind of got a little sympathy for him just because, you know what I'm saying, he had a shoulder injury. Right. And, you know, he had to readjust his throwing arm. And, you know, as a quarterback, when you have to learn how to throw a different way, you know, it makes it difficult. But you went to New England, okay? This is the same coach that turned a drug abuser clean for a year. And, you know, that's not to, you know, down Josh Gordon.
Or anybody that has a substance abuse problem.
You know what I'm saying? But it's hard. My point is, it's hard to overcome something like that. You know, that's a hardship for a lot of people out here. You know, and, you know, I pray for y'all that's out there, you know, struggling with that. But you have a successful head coach that knows the game of ball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at it fairly, Tom Brady basically had the same team he had. And they competed.
They went 8-0 till they went to Baltimore.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They competed and
they did though.
They played pretty good. Now, as far as the receivers, they don't really have good receivers, but have Patriots ever had really good receivers?
No. Ever. No.
You know what I'm saying?
I can count on my hand how many receivers and that was worth their weight really came out of New England. And like this one I'm about to name, he wasn't even originally drafted by New England. That's Wes Welker. Nice slot guy. And then you got Randy Moss, who was not drafted by New England.
Right.
And then also you have Julian Edelman.
He was made. He's now one of the best slot receivers in the league to me.
Yeah, I mean he was like a poor man's Wes Welker if you really look at his game, with just a better catching radius.
Yeah, so I'm really disappointed. Jimmy Garoppolo played better than Cam Newton when he was over there for those 4 games. Tom Brady was
good
over there, and like I said,
Jacoby Brissett played better.
I mean, like we talked about in past podcasts, it's bad when the coach call you by your government name. That says it all. That man, Bill Belichick, was so upset he called Cam Cameron. And now it doesn't look like he's going to be resigned by anybody. I don't see anybody really signing Cam Newton. No. You know, he shouldn't retire.
I think he should go as a backup at this point.
I really do. He need to get some time.
Get you as much money as you can get. And then just hang it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think it's well, I don't want him to retire. If he can go somewhere where, you know, you may have an older quarterback, you know, like the Steelers if we decided to keep being, you know, come on down to Pittsburgh and sit on down for a few years and, you know, not necessarily Pittsburgh. You got a few. Well, I don't know what the Saints going to do with Drew Brees. But you know what I'm saying? Just try to find you an area where you can grow as a player because the talent is there.
It's a little diminished, but it's there.
It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's just not in the right system. To be quite frank, he probably should have just stayed with the Panthers because I mean,
but that relationship ended on a bad note.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it did. But
I feel like honestly,
I don't see nobody else taking a chance on him.
The only team that I can honestly see Cam going to is the Washington football team to reunite with Ron Rivera.
That'd be nice. Oh, well, nah, I don't see that.
Come on, Cam Newton, with that defense that they have.
Yeah, that defense, yeah, but with that head coach relationship, I don't know. They didn't work in Carolina. I don't think it's going to work in.
How come they didn't work in Carolina? They went to a Super Bowl together.
They went to one Super Bowl together.
Some teams ain't been to none.
You're right. You're right.
You can't even put a number on if making the Super Bowl is an accomplishment. You can't even put a number on that.
But at the same time, though, I don't see it wasn't. If that was the case, then there was no need for Ron Rivera to move from Carolina.
They fired him.
I would too.
If your quarterback was hurt, this is about every year since their Super Bowl appearance. And then on top of that, you're putting pretty much stop gaps in there. to do something in this football team, you mean to tell me you would have hired that man? The man did the best he could with what he had. Well, that's like trying to fry some chicken without no flour, man.
So do you think the Patriots going to resign Cam Newton?
I highly doubt it. Just about how it ended and how it went this year. I highly doubt it. I mean, he, like you said, he did not even crack 2,000 yards. He got like 500 some odd yards rushing,
and he played all the game.
And he didn't play all of them. He was out for COVID for like a couple of games. I want to say that Seattle game. What did this? I got to relook it up. But it was a couple of them games he was out.
Well, you know what? They might come to some type of agreement to.
No, because what I've been hearing, the Patriots is asking everybody who's trying to move their quarterback, what you want for him?
No, really. Well, you know, if they did though, being that, going back to that point you pointed out, which was, you know, pretty good. The Patriots did have the most players to opt out due to COVID. And, you know, that 19 players out of 53, you know, a possible 53-man roster can mean a lot. So, you know, if they do decide to and they gain all, you know, get those players back, maybe, possibly, you know, they might be they might do better than 7-9. They might
win 9 games.
They might win 9 games.
Maybe 10 if they
right
get
now,
the right schedule.
The way it's looking, I don't see Cam Newton returning to the Patriots. I don't know where Cam Newton could go. Rather than, you know, Washington would be good. Everybody else is pretty much booked. To me, I mean, he couldn't go to the Bengals because they hooked on Joe Burrow.
Well, they did spend a number 1 overall pick on Burrow, so
you know what I'm saying.
And he was balling like before he got hurt. Like, you know, it's just his team around him was trash.
The AFC East they pretty much got their quarterbacks locked up. I really can't even think of a team that he can go to. You know, Philly just, you know, made their statement on who they wanted.
Right.
New York Giants locked on Daniel Jones. Cowboys, Cowboys.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're going to do with that Prescott. That's gonna be a tough one, but
it's looking kind of rough.
Cam Newton no. I don't think that's what they're looking for. I don't know.
I say pay that man, though.
Dak Prescott?
Pay that man.
Of course.
Before he got injured, dude was balling.
Why would you sign a running back before your franchise quarterback?
Because it's Jerry Jones.
I understand, but you know what I'm saying?
Jerry Jones still think he see Emmitt Smith back there in the backfield.
Hey, nah, don't do that, Zeke. Nah, don't do that, Zeke.
I'm not dookie in those.
No, I mean, he's not an Emmitt Smith, of course.
Emmitt Smith is Zeke is.
I mean, he's not to that level.
He's not to that level.
I mean, he's good, but
I understand the logic in signing him. I just don't understand signing him right then because you got a quarterback, franchise quarterback.
But that's pretty good.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, he just can't. He's in the wrong conference. That's all.
I really think he was like an AFC team, like a Jacksonville or one of them Southern teams, like Miami or something like that.
You got to be. Listen, when you're a quarterback, any team in the NFC East, I tip my hat to y'all because y'all boys right now, y'all is the most. I mean, y'all always really had the edge on the AFC, but y'all got a lot of competitive teams over there, you know.
To be like the weakest division is the most interesting to watch. For the simple fact, nobody wins that division twice in a row. I don't think it's ever been done.
Nope. It sure hasn't. And, you know,
like Washington won it with a 7-9 record. That'll tell you the story about the NFC East right there.
Yeah. I don't know where Cam can go. I think he might be like another Geno Smith. And you know, Geno,
we were in the podcast right at those playing.
You know, Geno Smith when he got drafted.
Yeah, from West VA.
You know, everybody was big on him, and you know, he had a mobile game too, like Cameron, but he wasn't as talented as Cameron, of course. But
didn't he get drafted like the Jets or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been
like
in free agency.
He's
been in free agency for a long time.
I thought he was on the Seahawks.
I mean, yeah, he's a backup. Yeah, I'm talking as far as like because he's been going team to team basically.
Yeah, journeyman. He need to get like Ryan Fitzpatrick and just and just ball out for about 5 or 6 weeks,
and then crash.
But
yeah, man, that's all the thing I have. You got anything you want to hit on?
I want to do something special. Like, I've been checking, and y'all are listening to us, man. I'm happy, bro. Y'all doing it up, man. We got fans in Europe.
Okay.
So shout out to Europe, man. Everybody that's listening to the podcast, man. We appreciate you, man. Mm-hmm. I think the next podcast, we're gonna do like a Q&A session.
All right.
I'm gonna hit up the Facebook page and Instagram and just get some questions for people that's listening, and we'll try to answer them. So to do that, email us at backporchsports20@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. On Facebook, our page is Backporch Sports, of course. Instagram is _backporchsports. And on Twitter, it's at backporchsports1. But, we're going to wrap this up, man. And I'm feeling that, though. It's dope, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. And this has been fun. Oh, man. Hush, man. Try to do the outro, man. All right, man. For Backporch Sports, man, this is Fonz
and Quan.
And we signing off.